Greetings from Tokyo. This is Daisuke, and today is Saturday, December 15th, 2018. It's the morning here in Japan, and a few hours ago, the Criterion Collection made its announcement with respect to its planned schedule of releases for the month of March 2019. A very interesting announcement indeed. So if you don't mind, let me please go over my thoughts about each of the planned releases from the Criterion Collection for March 2019. First up is this. Now, I'm going to try something new here. This is my wife's tablet. So this is from the Criterion website, and this is the film The Magic Flute. Now, The Magic Flute is already in the current collection. This is spine number 71, and it's a DVD, as you can see here. This is the current DVD of The Magic Flute, and this has no special features in terms of documentaries or anything like that. So it's a pretty bare bones release, although the film itself I think is quite charming. But of course, 1 month ago, approximately, Criterion released this, which is the Bergman box, Ingmar Bergman Cinema. Included in this is the Blu-ray of The Magic Flute. And now we have Criterion going ahead and releasing this in an individual release. So in essence, upgrading its individual release DVD, and thus also at the same time breaking out The Magic Flute and giving it its own individual Blu-ray release. And in fact, the supplements mirror each other in terms of what's also included in the Bergman box set. So this is actually an interesting trend. We're seeing Criterion, perhaps, maybe, releasing the Bergman films individually. That is, the films that are included in the box set, they might be releasing them individually or otherwise upgrading them to Blu-ray accordingly. I'm not sure if this is a trend that will continue. So my friends, let's keep an eye on this going forward when we hear of the April announcements, May announcements, and etc., etc. But if this trend holds, then I think this is really fine news, and I am welcome to it very much. So, and just very quickly, just take a look at this cover, I should say. This cover is lovely. What a lovely cover design. Compared to the earlier DVD cover design, I think this new Blu-ray cover design is really, it's really top-notch. So the supplements include, let's see, a new 2K digital restoration, and also an interview with director Bergman, recorded in 1974 for Swedish television, a new interview with film scholar Peter Cowie, and also a feature-length documentary on the making of the film from 1975, plus an essay. So this is I think it mirrors the Ingmar Bergman box set Magic Flute release quite well. So again, spine number 71, The Magic Flute, Ingmar Bergman. Spine number 964, The Kid Brother, Harold Lloyd. This is an amazing announcement. Harold Lloyd, of course, is, I think, a very popular star, rightly so. His films are magnetic and entertaining and filled with joy and laughs. It's just a pure delight to watch his films, and this film in particular. I really love this film very much, and so having this in the collection is a very welcome thing. And also, again, Criterion, more silent films, that would be wonderful. So this is a lovely addition in a continuation of that particular trend. So keep going, Criterion, with that. You're doing an excellent job, and if The Kid Brother is any indication, then again, I'm looking forward to what the future has in store. And quickly about this cover, it's a nice simple design. We've got the title appearing on the floorboards there, and it's lovely, absolutely lovely. So simple yet effective. really nice job in terms of the presentation. So the special features here include it's a new 4K digital restoration, an orchestral score by composer Carl Davis from 1989, an alternate archival organ score performed by Gaylord Carter. Then there's a 2005 audio commentary featuring, among others, Harold Lloyd's granddaughter, Suzanne Lloyd. And then there's Harold Leading Ladies, a new conversation with Suzanne Lloyd. And then there's a new video essay called Anatomy of a Gag, Monkey Shoes. There's the behind-the-scenes stills gallery. Then there's another video essay, a new one, called Close to Home. Then there's Dutch television interview with Lloyd from 1962. And then there's a featurette from 2005 about Green Acres, Lloyd's estate, hosted by Suzanne Lloyd. Then there are two restored rare early Lloyd shorts, Over the Fence from 1917 and That's Him from 1918, with new Wurlitzer Theater pipe organ scores and a discussion of their earlier film format by archivist Dino Everett. Then there's a tour of the Wurlitzer organ with composer Nathan Barr and organist Mark Herman, plus an essay. Packed release. That's all I can say about that. Packed. Stellar. Potentially mind-blowing. What other superlatives you can think of? I wish I had a thesaurus, but this is one to be excited for. And so yes, The Kid Brother. Well done, Criterion. Well done. Spy number 965. Wanda. This is one of the great American independent films from the early 1970s. But it's not just that. This is, for my money, one of the great American films from the 1970s. As you know, the 1970s was just a hurricane of masterpieces. And I think among that, Wanda was certainly up there. This deserves to be in the same conversation as those often discussed masterpieces of early 1970s American cinema. So I'm so happy that this film is given this treatment by Criterion, and that it will become available for many people to watch. And I hope a lot of people watch this. The more people to watch this, the happier I will be, because this film deserves all the attention it can get. It is electrifying. It is raw. It is so it's stunning in terms of the risks it takes, and there is a real true spirit at play here that is fearless. Wanda is a powerhouse of a film, and I can't wait to talk about this film with you when it comes out on Criterion in March 2019. One of the great American films. One of the great American films. So here we have the 2K digital restoration. It's a new restoration. This is going to be great. Then there is an hour-long documentary called I Am Wanda, which includes an interview with director Loden, Barbara Loden, filmed in 1980. Then there's an audio recording of Loden speaking to students at the AFI in 1971. A segment from a 1971 episode of The Dick Cavett Show featuring Loden. And The Frontier Experience, a short educational film from 1975 about a pioneer woman's struggle to survive, directed by and starring Loden, plus a trailer and an essay. Criterion. What's the phrase? You had me at hello? You had me at hello, Criterion, but you go ahead and do something like this to me. So, I owe you and then some. Thank you so much for this, Criterion. You have really done me and everyone else in the film community a service by planning this release for March 2019. Wanda. I am so looking forward to this film. Spy number 966. He was looking for love, but fate forced a detour. (966) Detour. Now, as if Wanda alone wasn't enough. You had to go and release Detour as well. Oh, and look at this cover too. I love this cover. The yellow, it's great. It's not teal, it's yellow. And look at this. I love this. Look at the lipstick. Even the lipstick is yellow. Wonderful. And look here at the top. You've got the lovely sea here, sort of blending into the background. And the wording, Detour, it goes along that line, the huge font that's being used. I love this cover so much. It's very, kind of has a pastiche element to it, but it's lovely, absolutely lovely. And the yellow is perfect. You know, this is a film noir film that is a classic, seminal, landmark film. It's got everything. It's got chills and suspense, and it's quite horrific and pretty monstrous in places. But that's the beauty of film noir in terms of the extremes that it's willing to go, especially if you're dealing with good film noir. And this is one of the best film noirs. I can't wait to hear what the comments are going to be from people out there who are film noir experts. This is going to be great. Anyway, so there is a new 4K digital restoration. Then there is a 2004 documentary called Edgar G. Ulmer, The Man Off Screen. And then there's a new interview with film scholar Noah Eisenberg, who is an author of Edgar G. Ulmer, a filmmaker at the margins. A new program about the restoration of Detour, and a trailer and an essay. So, my goodness. So, you talk about classic, important bedrock film. Not just as a film noir film, but I'm talking about a classic bedrock film. 1940s, shocking, stunning. You can't believe what's unfolding before your eyes as you're seeing it. It's so entertaining and so vicious. Exactly what a film noir should be. So Detour. Can't wait. Spine number 967. Wow. I Want to Hold Your Hand. So this is the Robert Zemeckis film, and I just wanted to point out something about this cover before going any further. Look at this cover. This is a really lovely drawing here, and I love Criterion when it does covers like this. There's just such a lovely warmth that's being depicted here. I really admire this, but that's not all. If we look here, excuse me, I apologize for my giant hand, but if we look at the top of the cover, above where the title appears, it says here, Steven Spielberg Presents. Now, this is very interesting because, as you know, Steven Spielberg produced this and Robert Zemeckis directed this. And this is based off of writing by Bob Gale, or co-writer. And in fact, as part of the supplements, we've got the 4K digital restoration, but also a new conversation among Zemeckis, Gale, and Steven Spielberg. So Steven Spielberg is involved with a Criterion supplement. And in fact, his name appears on the cover. So that's a very interesting thing. There isn't any Steven Spielberg directed film that's currently in the current Criterion collection. So that's a very interesting thing to have now, Steven Spielberg's name appearing on the front cover. So I'm very happy about that. Incidentally, Steven Spielberg did have this film, his directed film Close Encounters of the Third Kind, as a Criterion Laserdisc. But yes, as of now, there is no Steven Spielberg directed film in the current Criterion collection. So, and I know this is a Robert Zemeckis directed film, but still, it's a very interesting one. And also, Zemeckis, my goodness, great! I'm so happy, and I'm a great admirer of Robert Zemeckis. So, this is very welcome indeed. And as I said, I do love this film very much. I've seen it only once, and some time ago, but I find it to be a very charming watch, so I look forward to revisiting this film. But moving on, now we also have other supplements, including a new interview with actors Nancy Allen and Mark McClure. Nancy Allen, I love you. And there's audio commentary from 2004 featuring Zemeckis and Gale. And there's also 2 early short films by Zemeckis. So The Lift from 1972 and A Field of Honor from 1973. Trailer, radio spots, and an essay, and more! Exclamation point. So there could be more supplements on the way, who knows. But in the meantime, we've got this great release. This is spine number 967. I wanna hold your hand. Excuse me. Great, Nancy Allen. My goodness. Yeah, what a great actress. So charming and so affable in spirit. So this is going to be one to look forward to immensely. I want to hold your hand. Spine number 968. The filmmaker is Carlos Regadas, and this is the film Yapon. Now, this film is one that I've heard so much about, but I have not seen. And I've heard so much about this filmmaker, Regadas, but I have not seen any films by him. So this is going to be a potential huge educational experience for me, and I cannot wait. This is a film, well, first of all, look at this cover. This is a really lovely cover design, and I am enthralled by what it's depicting. So quite lovely, and I am very much well, anyway. And so let's look here at the supplements that are on that are being provided here. So again, this is supposed to be spine number 968, and we have a 2K digital restoration supervised by director Carlos Regadas. Then there's a new conversation between Regadas and filmmaker Amat Escalante. Then there's a video diary shot by actor Alejandro Ferretis during the film's production. Then there's Max Humain, a short film directed by Regadas in 1999, and then a deleted scene, and a trailer, and an essay. I have heard many exciting things about Regadas and his other films, but again, I have not had a chance to explore them. So this will be my an opportunity for me to explore his films and his filmography and his world, and I cannot wait. If what I've heard is anything to go by, then I think I'm due for a very emotionally impactful viewing experience indeed. For any of you out there who have seen this film or any other films by Regadas, please let me know. And if you have any comments, or if you have any anything to say about the films, like a review, please let me know. But again, I don't want to be spoiled, so please, I just ask that you refrain from using any spoilers. But apart from that, I would love to hear your comments about this film. And this is one I think I'm going to be watching immediately upon receiving it in the mail in March 2019. Oh gosh, this cover, my goodness, this cover looks so exquisite. And you know, the one of the things that I was going to talk about in a separate video is Criterion's mission to try to be as diverse as possible with its releases. And I understand the criticism that's been lodged against Criterion over the course of Criterion's existence, you know, namely that Criterion seems to focus on certain types of films over others. You know, lots of French films, lots of Japanese films, for instance. Maybe not other countries are being as well represented. And I think that's a shame. And I think part of that criticism is a reasonable one to make. But with that in mind, it is always so refreshing, and it's so wonderful for Criterion to provide us with filmmakers that maybe we might not have otherwise been on the lookout for. Maybe, and again, that I think is a reflection perhaps of my own limitation and closed-mindedness more than anything else. So I perfectly accept that criticism. But that is, for me, one of the great things about relying on the Criterion Collection. You know, the Criterion Collection, I know on the one hand is a business, so I appreciate that. But on the other hand, it is also, for me anyway, a means by which I can try to find new routes for my own film journey. So if this is any indication, then hopefully this trend of sort of variety, for lack of a better word, hopefully will continue going forward. And I think we see this in this new March 2019 release slate. Granted, it might be seen as being a bit maybe American film centric, perhaps, but maybe despite that very minor potential criticism, I don't think it's a criticism at all, but despite that point, I still think we are seeing a fair degree of breadth of scope. Starting with Diapone here, and then also we have a silent film, Harold Lloyd film, and then we have the Bergman Magic Flute, so an opera, and then we have a Detour, which is the film noir from you know, the first half of the 20th century, and then we have I Want to Hold Your Hand, Zemeckis, Spielberg, and then Wanda, Barbara Loden. So it seems like there is a breadth of scope that is being, this is suggestive of Criterion's endeavors in this trend towards trying to be as diverse as possible. So I think this is something that should be lauded. But of course, this is something that I would like to see Criterion pursue further and with more gusto. But in the meantime, I can't complain, because this is, if this is a trend that is to continue, then I am, of course, fully behind Criterion's efforts. So. But let's just hope that this momentum builds and further expands horizons here, there, and everywhere. So with that in mind, my friends, what do you think of the March 2019 releases that was announced by Criterion recently? What do you think of these releases? Do you like them? Do you not like them? Are you excited? Are you disappointed? Which titles, which titles are you excited for the most? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please let me know in the comment section below. And I would love to engage with you. I should also say that I'm doing my best to respond to past comments and other videos, but I've been a little bit behind because I've been a little bit under the weather in terms of I think I have a cold. So please forgive me for being very slow. I always work at a slow snail's pace. So this is quite slow indeed. So I ask for your forgiveness and I ask for your patience. But yes, if you have any comments about these release announcements, please let me know in the comment section below, and I would love to hear about them. And your thoughts are always very important and precious. Okay, my friends, so I hope you're well, and until we meet again, cheers.